Another huge challenge this weekend. Dundee are back on track with a win. It sets it up really well for a challenging game.
Yeah, difficult game again. They come thick and fast every single week. Fantastic win for Dundee, particularly when you look at the predicament they were in at half time. So to go to Firhill and to come back from 2 goals down to collect 3 points, great achievement from Dundee. They'll be looking at how they went 2-0 down, but they'll also be really happy with the comeback.
Yeah, and in turn, we ourselves will be looking to consolidate our spot as one of the so-called form teams.
Yeah, we're on form, albeit 5 or 6 games perhaps, but it's nice to be in that form going up to Dundee, because it's going to be a really, really hard game. We've got ourselves in a position, that's it. It's as simple as that. We're not jumping through hoops about it. We're happy with it, but we know it's a very difficult league, a very unforgiving league, and we know any slip-ups are pretty harsh at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Scott Brown was highlighting to the mainstream press that he's aware of the players that are available to step in should the likes of himself, Brad, Sam Stanton, just even go off form a little bit. It must be great for you as a coach to have strong options of going into a game against another strong midfield in Dundee.
Yeah, Dundee have got a strong squad. So have we when we get our players fit, and that's what one of our problems was at the start of the season. We didn't have a huge amount of depth due to injuries, and things were cropping up for us. So to have these players, firstly in the starting 11 at the moment is really, really good, but they're getting pushed all the time because the bench is getting stronger every single week. We hope this week we have another 1 or 2 back in the squad, which again pushes the players on some more. And they've got to play well to keep their position, because football doesn't stand still, it doesn't wait for anybody. There'll be times when players don't have a fantastic game, it's not quite their afternoon, but you can't have too many because there's players ready.
Yeah, and with those players that are pushing to get back in this squad, is Saturday going to come too quickly for the likes of Ethan Ross, Jamie Gillan and so on?
Well, Ryan Owens trained really well this week. He's had a really good week's training, so he's probably further on than the rest of them. If he comes through tomorrow, which I expect him to do, so he'll be added to our squad. Jamie and Ethan will train tomorrow. We'll have to really make a last minute call on them to see where they are physically and mentally, because Jamie's had a couple of those hamstrings now, so we need to make sure in particular he's right. Ethan's the same. Ethan's had that stomach complaint for a number of weeks, so we need to make sure they're right. There's no point in taking them and using them. If they're not right, we'll set them back even longer, which is not going to be positive for anybody. But the real positive thing for me is that they are coming back, and I did expect them back inside the next 2 weeks. We're still very much on course for that, and we look towards the weekend and see how they are.
Yeah, and finally, it's tempting, you go from 7th to 3rd, it's tempting to look ahead and think what might be. We've got to remember we're still in November and we can't be getting too ahead of ourselves, but we're on good form. Yeah,
that's it. The league table is so tight in our division at the moment, as we saw at the weekend with our win, propelled us up. You look at a couple of teams that are not having a great run, but they're still very much in the mix at the top end of the table. Nobody likes to lose games, nobody likes to drop points, and we aim to try and win the match. We know if we win the game on Saturday, we at least keep our position in the table. We know we could possibly catch a couple of teams, but that's out of our hands. We have to just keep moving, keep progressing, keep trying to play well. The results have been good of late, but like you said, Neil, it's November, and nothing's handed out then. We'd be saying exactly the same if we were down the bottom of the league. Nobody's relegated in November, so we must keep our feet on the ground. We have to deal with growing expectation. There'll be times where it doesn't quite click for the players, or a little bit of bad luck, a bad decision goes against us. We need to maintain our focus and be ready for the next game.
And very finally, and then I will let you away, tickets for the away end at Dundee are sold really well. I think over 400 shifted. It'll be great, as usual, to get that strong vocal backing from the Rovers support.
Yeah, as I've said numerous times now, they've been excellent all season. They really have. Even when the games haven't fallen for us, the long away trips to Inverness, and we had Arbroath in the same week, and numbers at Arbroath were fantastic. It really helped us that night. It's the same at Dens Park. It's not too far away, but it's a really, really hard place to go. So the more Rovers fans we get there, the better for the players. We try and repay them with a good performance, which in turn hopefully gives us a good result. But to date, they've shown remarkable support for myself, the staff and the players, and we really appreciate that.
Smashing. Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.